I adopted a ton of you little weirdos, and now I have to pay a ton in child support. People kept asking me to cover War of Rohirrim, and I'm not going to bother reviewing it. I have no interest in this project. The animation looks stunning, I will give it that, but I have no interest in more fan fiction from Tolkien's universe. Let's be honest. I'd rather just read the books at this point and stick to those. I'm Will. I host this weird thing on the internet, and here I am. Here I am, your friendly neighborhood nihilist. There was a time when Lord of the Rings just filled me with excitement. From stunning, beautiful works of literature, stunning film adaptations, the 70s one being a particular favourite, and not forgetting the Peter Jackson trilogy that captured the magic, depth, and wonder of Tolkien's world. And it set a high bar for adaptations of his work. But now, as War of Rohirrim middles at the box office and, well, outright tanks, and, let's be real, middling reviews have been quite interesting to read, I sit here with absolutely no interest in it at all. And part of that is just, I'm kind of done with adaptations of his work. When Rings of Power was announced, I was optimistic, I was happy, I couldn't wait, I was excited. You know, Tolkien's second age on screen with grandeur, tragedy, and heroism. But instead of being immersed in a rich history of Numenor or the rise or fall of Sauron, I felt like I was watching a hollow imitation aimed at teenagers. The Chronicles of Shannara, anyone, comes to my mind. In fairness, at least that knew what it was trying to be, and that was horrible. The work of Rings of Power lacked cohesion and messed with the tones and themes of Tolkien's work. It felt like modern characters shoehorned into a world that demanded something timeless and mythic. The story was superficial and didn't have much complexity. It's shallow storytelling and a mystery box presented on screen. And ultimately, yes, while some deviations are necessary for adaptations, the wholesale rewriting of events, characters portrayed the fundamental understanding of his work. And at worst, destroyed what made his world so interesting. For fans, myself included, Rings of Power felt like an excuse to sell a product rather than anything that was genuinely attempting to honour his legacy. On paper, War of Rohirrim sound promising. A story set during the... Well, let's be honest, it's one of Rome's most legendary figures, and it has potential to be epic and gripping. But instead, they invented a character because... Why don't they at this point that wasn't even named. An unimportant character gets pushed to the centre. And after the Rings of Power, my faith in new Middle-earth projects has been completely destroyed. Will this story truly embrace the spirit of Tolkien's work, or it will be another attempt to capitalise on a brand with little regard for the source material? And part of what made Jackson's film so special was their rarity. Middle-earth wasn't an overexplored franchise, it was carefully crafted labour of love. There are so many projects on the horizon. So much stuff, it feels like it's being turned into an overmilked cash cow. Let's be honest here. I'd rather have one good adaptation than a million things that just fail. Look at Disney and Star Wars, look at the MCU. It feels like they're just milking dead cows at this point. And if you want the honest truth, I'm completely emotionally disconnected from it all. It's the reason I just roasted the show rather than the season 2 was I couldn't write a serious review. And with more adaptations, they stray from Tolkien's essence. The less I feel connected to them. Without the heart and soul of stories of Tolkien storytelling, the spectacle becomes meaningless. It becomes generic. It becomes filler content for streaming platforms. And I will say this, Tolkien's work will always hold a really special place in my heart, but I've come to realise that my love for Middle-earth lies with Tolkien's original writing, and the Jackson adaptations and the animated movies. With each new project, they just miss the mark. My enthusiasm just waves. And I'm worried Middle-earth is becoming a shadow of its former self, a brand stripped of its soul, another brand milked to death with endless things. For now, I'm just going to revisit the books and cherish the Middle-earth I fell in love with. And as for War of Rohirrim and future projects, I'll approach them with curious skepticism, but I won't be holding my breath. I'm so burnt out on it all. Like, at this point, my enthusiasm is just gone. And with the franchise, air quotes, franchise being at an all-time low, it just feels hollow and disconnected and disjointed. Yeah, there's better things to watch. And that's it. I will say, like I said, War of Rohirrim, the animation is beautiful. It looks stunning. But it's another made-up character that didn't exist. Another pointless rewrite. Another adaptation that just feels hollow and empty, and purely exists because they were about to lose the rights to the franchise, so it was all rushed into production. Just frustrating. I never thought I'd ever say these words. I'm bored with Tolkien. I've had enough. I'm bored with this endless regurgitation of content. This boring and fundamentally dry experience. And I won't lie, I don't think Rings of Power has helped people's opinions of Tolkien when normies are switching off, and the fact that it's a huge financial disaster. At the end of the day, studios need to make money, and that's it. So no, I'm not going to be reviewing. I'm not going to be doing any of that. And that's how it's going to stay. There's no point talking about it. And that's it. I have no interest in this. I'll watch it on streaming if it comes out, but that's about it.